What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode or video, whatever you want to do. I done tried to make like 17 videos now, and all of them are all been busts. Tried to go street racing one time, and that turned into a fail. Tried to do another video on Nick's car because we had cut it up and we put Lexan in it, and we tried to put on the dyno, and we kept having a distributor problem, so we ordered a Dragonfire distributor. It's supposed to be here today. Then we're going to put the car back on the dyno, and hopefully it fixes the issue that it was having. So I kind of took a week off of working and took some time to myself to figure some things out. And now I'm back here at the shop. So I got this budget turbo kit. Well, I got this I don't know what the hell it is. The EK. We're gonna call it the EK because that's the chassis code on it. And sold this customer a Blackbuilt budget kit. And him and his buddy tried to, well, he got his buddy to try to put it on, but they couldn't get the kit on because they are not turbo guys. So he brought me the car from like 2 hours away so I can put the kit on for him and address a few issues that he had. A couple of issues that he had was he still had to stop fuel filter up here, and the way the downpipe goes, he wanted the hood exit, so the way the up pipe goes, it would have interfered with the fuel filter, and it was too close to the turbo manifold. I really don't like to use the OEM filters on K-Series swap stuff. I like to use the inline filter. So I put an inline filter on here, and now I'm just I had to, oh dang, I gotta move this. I did not think about that. But I'm gonna have to move the fuel pressure regulator because I put it here, but I remembered that I have the intercooler piping coming through here, so I'll just mount it here somewhere like I normally do, and then we'll start putting the intercooler kit back on. I kind of need this car too because I sold a guy in Colorado a intercooler, well, pieces of the budget kit. So I sold him an intercooler, which is this intercooler right here, and the piping, and I have it all boxed up, and I have it out and ready to get shipped off. I also sold him an innovative, the hell is this thing called? The innovative rear diff mount kit, and my budget all-wheel drive trailing arms. I'll be doing a video here in the next couple of weeks on the all-wheel drive trailing arms. Basically, it's a stock trailing arm that I buy these plates, and these plates are for another car, so I couldn't use them on the trail arms that I needed for his car, so I'm getting some in there on the way. Well, I basically buy these plates right here, and I use Honda Insight front hubs, and we use CRV rear axles. It's like a discombobulated thing, but it works. I did it on the car from Colorado. I did it on the black CRX out there. I also did it on Blueberry, which is coming back to the channel because it is here now. I have a built motor in the car. I remember like 15,000 videos ago I sold the car, and well, it's back because we're putting a built motor in there, which is already in there. I have to change the trailing arms because the trailing arms on it don't really line up, and I'm putting budget trailing arms on it also. And I had to get the drive shaft redone because the center bearings on them blew out, and we changed the intercooler. We're putting bigger injectors in it and a bunch of other stuff. But if you guys are interested in budget kits, you can send me an email. I kind of don't really use the website a lot because I'm only one person. It's hard for me to maintain it. I have no help when it comes to stuff like this, and the only way that I can track all of it is through email. So if you have interest in a budget kit, I sell them for EG, EKs, Integras, EP3s, 2005 to 2011 SIs. I want to do 2012 and up SIs, like the, not the FA5s, what the hell is the chassis code called? Like, but the ones with the K24 Z7s in them. I want to design a budget kit from that. I just haven't had anybody interested in it. I know PRL kit is quite expensive, but I'd like to offer some type of budget alternative to those guys that want those kits. I thought I had one guy interested and I was going to start marketing for it, but he backed out on deal, so stuck on that. I also offer budget kits for B series H22s and single cams. So any K swap car, B series car, H series car, I have a budget kit for it. If you're interested in it, the budget kits normally start between $1,800 to $3,200, just depending on what manifold, turbo, and intercooler you get, or blow off valve and wastegate. So I price it accordingly. I don't have the option on the website to like list all the options, so it's easier for me to just be able to price it whenever you email me about it. That way, I can just, shoot out a price then. But we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and move this fuel pressure regulator. I'm gonna start on the return line that goes to the tank, and then we're gonna start putting the intercooler piping back on and downpipe, all that stuff. My goal is to try to get the car running tonight, and then tomorrow I'll change the injectors. His map sensor should be here Thursday, and then we should be on the dyno by Friday, hopefully. So stay tuned. Like I said before, if y'all interested in budget kits, just hit me up on email. You can hit me up on Facebook or Instagram, any of the social media sites, or through email, like I said. And I answer all your questions. Anybody that's hit me up before, I answer all your questions. So if you leave a comment section below, that I don't bullshit when I say I answer everybody's questions. All right, so pretty much got the top end part of the turbo kit taken care of. The only thing I have left to do is put that oil pan that's right there on here, because this oil pan is not tapped for the return line. Hate saying that, but if you run any style sidewinder turbo kit, the optimal place for you to put the return is in the front of the pan, because what happens is, with the motor being at an angle already and sidewinder being at an angle, the oil pan only has this much space right here, and all the oil is in the front. So when you either idle at a stoplight or in your garage or wherever the hell you at, and you're not moving, the oil pan isn't pulling as much oil as if you were driving. And what will happen is this line right here will fill up with oil and your turbo will start smoking. So you either think your motor's blown up or you got bad turbo, when all the reality is that you don't have proper drain back to the oil pan. When these turbo kits first came out, like in, I don't know, 19 long time, nobody really thought to put the drain in the front, and until recently, maybe the last 4 or 5 years, people have started putting them in the front, and it solved the whole smoking issue. I had a Turbo K series in like 2011, and it had the return in the back, and it would smoke all the damn time. I would never know why it would smoke. And until like a couple of years ago, after I started doing more and more turbo kits, we started putting them in the front, and they completely solved the smoking issue. So it's hot as hell in here, but I am getting it knocked out. Like I said before, just gotta put the pan on. I gotta clean this one out because this came off a K20 that I sold Christian, and I didn't have any more steel bungs to weld on this pan, so I kind of stole his pan, but I got bungs on the way. I just ordered a bunch of shit that I needed to like do 10 turbo kits. So I will start pulling the pan off it and get back to y'all. All right, guys, so pretty much done with everything, except for just need to put the radiator in, the axles, half shaft, and trans fluid. And I have a small fuel leak from a fuel line that's crimped back there, so just got to fix that tomorrow. Probably gonna end the video off here because it's just a bunch of me fucking talking, and I know y'all pretty much hate videos of me talking, but I tried to start the car. It does try to start, but it doesn't have enough fuel in the tank right now to keep the car running. And it was throwing a TDC sensor code, which is like crankshaft sensor code. And I checked to see if the reluctor wheel was on the right way, because whoever did the swap, they put a K20 oil pump in there, and they untimed the motor. So I thought maybe the motor was off time or the reluctor wheel was backwards. So I kind of jacked up this crank seal, taking it out, which is really need to be changed anyway because it's kind of old and dry. So even if I had fuel here, I couldn't run the car for a long time because it would just spew oil out of the crankshaft sensor. Not a crankshaft sensor, but out of the balancer. So what I'm going to do tomorrow is get a new seal, and I'm going to take this jug with me, get some gas, and we're going to come back and try to start it, and then idle it up, get the axles in, stuff like that. And then I'll probably do the same video as it idling and stuff like that as the dyno video, and then the customer should be ready to pick the car up. So hopefully if we can get on the dyno tomorrow, we'll get on the dyno. If not, it'll be Friday. Today is Wednesday. No, today's Tuesday right now. Tomorrow will be Wednesday. And no, actually, it'll be Thursday. That'll be on the dyno. So yeah, we need a dyno this car. We need a dyno weak bitch. And we need to put Nick's car back on the dyno. We got like 4 or 5 cars we need a dyno. So it might just be a whole video of just dynoing cars that we need to tune, because we got another single cam, 2 single cam turbo cars. This nitro car, we got another nitro car that needs to be tuned. We need to tune Nick's car on nitro, and we need to tune this car. I need to put the car from Colorado on the dyno also, but I need to figure out why the damn clutch won't engage, I should say, or disengage. I don't know, but whatever. I try to put it in gear with the clutch in, and it won't go into gear. So I just got the wrong throb bearing in it, or it's got a slave issue or something like that, because I just pedal all the way out and it still won't do it. So I don't know, I got to figure that out. It's the first time I had that problem. So Christian told me it may be the spring in the clutch fork or the pillow ball that the clutch fork rides on. But all in all, pretty progressive day. If the car would have started and I had the radiator in here, you can pretty much turbo these cars in like a day. It'll take you like 8 hours of, you can bullshit for 8 hours and get it done pretty much like I did. I took like 7 breaks, answered a bunch of phone calls, emails, text messages in between, and I got to the shop at like 8 o'clock this morning. So I will edit this video, put it out, and I'll see you guys in the next upload. As always, comment, like, share, and subscribe.